a hit dog is gonna holler. So I put a snap up and I'm like,
Brianna Carly. Brianna Carly.
hey everybody, I'm Brianna Carly, and if you're new here, I want to say thank you for stopping by, and if you're not new here, I want to say welcome back to my channel, and I am back with another story time. So I was really trying to figure out what story time I wanted to do next, and I was just trying to figure out like which one I would be comfortable with just like spilling it as if I'm talking to a friend. So I really had to skim through, and then so I was going through my iPad and I saw some old tweets that I had screenshotted from a person that I was planning on doing a story time about. So I guess I'll do that one. Okay, we're gonna get like kind of right into it, but not kind of into it. Like I'm gonna give like a brief backstory if like I can. So this video is probably gonna be titled like "The Side Chick Prevails" because bruh. I'm just going to give everybody names as I go, and I'm going to make note of it because I'm going to have multiple videos about these same people. So the first couple of years of my college life, I had a boyfriend. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. If you're going to school, do not try to get a boyfriend while you're there. Like, leave that where it's at. It's nothing but a headache. So I had this boyfriend. We can call him KD. And we were together my freshman year, sophomore year, and off and on around my junior year, right? So it was just always, if there was Brianna, there was KD. Everybody knew that this was that, right? So here we are. And so, you know, trying to have a boyfriend, these men be like dilly-dallying here and there, cheating and trying to say they're sorry and won't do it again. And so that's where we're at with it, right? I had this boyfriend who was talking to all type of girls and still trying to be in my face like nothing was going on, lying and everything else under the sun, right? There was this one particular time, but there was this one particular situation that was like the deal breaker for me, right? It was like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm trying to finish school with no issues, and I just don't have time for the drama. Like, I literally don't have time for the drama. So one day I'm at a kickback with, I was at a kickback with 2 of my girlfriends at the time, and we were literally kicking it, having drinks and just mingling around or whatever, minding our business. You know how kickbacks are. They usually don't have the lights all bright. They usually have it like dark. In this case, it was like legit dark AF. Like it was real dark. And so I'm kicking it with my friends, and this girl comes up to me and she's like, "Do you talk to KD?" And I'm like, "Of course I still talk to KD. That's my boyfriend." And at that time in age, I think even if I wasn't dealing with my boyfriend, somebody who's bold enough to come and ask me if I am still talking to him, I would have said yeah, even if I wasn't. So it was like, and so this girl goes on to talk about like, oh, I've been talking to KD for this amount of time and this, that, and the other. He said he wasn't with you anymore and this, that, and the other. So literally that is that. I've always been the type, I'm not arguing with a woman over a guy. I ain't have no words for this girl. I instantly go talk to my friends, but that's where I messed up at because it was so dark in there. I did not know who had come up to me, and I did not know, I could not put a face to this girl for months after the incident, right? Months after the incident. Could not put it together and tell them about it. And so I go to KD's house literally right after the kickback. Like, we left the kickback, I pulled up to this guy's house and I let him have it. Like, so when I go to his house and I confront him about it and this, that, and the other, and you know the typical response, I be using her because she be buying me clothes, she be doing stuff for me, I don't really like her, she's ugly, she's this, she's that, everything in the book to try to make me feel better. But I'm the type like, nah, that's it. And then it was kind of like a little scuffle had happened, so that was it. I was done with the relationship. I left it where it was at, right? I literally cut that situation off damn near cold turkey. I was so done with this man because he had done so much other stuff, and then I was just not into the fact that there's a woman out here who knows what I look like, knows my name, and knows everything about me, but I don't know who she is. And this is because of you? Oh yeah, you out of here. So we can say that happens in November, right? Sometime in November. If it's not correct, I'll come and add a little insert stating when it was, because after I found out who this girl was and found her Twitter, this lady was talking about me for months before she even came up to me at that kickback. And she was talking about me months after she had come up to me at that kickback, and I didn't know who she was until January. This lady was literally walking around me, and I did not know who she was from a can of paint. And once it all clicked later, then I was like, oh wow, that was her. Oh wow, that was her friend. This, like, it was just so crazy, right? So this lady was basically still stalking me after I had already broken up with my boyfriend. Like, bitch, you are living a bitch's dream. You just came up to a man's girlfriend one single time and you got her out of there. Like, you are living a side bitch's dream and you still stalking this man's ex. Like, what do you want? Do you want to be me? But we gonna get into that later. So I would, like, I'm usually kicking by myself. If I'm not with my girls, I'm not afraid to be out by myself, going to whatever common area in the college or whatever, in the apartments. So we had like this little den area where we would eat. The upperclassmen were in apartments and there was a den area where we would eat. This girl, come to find out, was younger. So for why she was over at the den area where the apartments were is beyond me. But I remember one time I was sitting there by myself eating, and these girls were literally staring me down. And I didn't know neither one of them. Damn, one of them, right? I'm eating my food. I'm not bothered about shit. The shit doesn't matter. Then later on, probably that same day, I get a Snapchat ad from a random girl on the campus or whatever. And I just accepted because we used to just all just be friends on Snapchat. So I didn't know who this was, but I don't want to be hopping everywhere. But yeah, I didn't know who this girl was. I added the Snapchat. Boom. That's that. When I tell you this Snapchat name was literally probably always the first to watch my snaps, and I didn't think too much of it at all, like, because we all just added everybody on Snapchat. Everybody was just, and I used to get hundreds of views on my stories because I used to be that girl. But so I didn't think anything of it, right? I'm just going through life, probably talking to a whole nother guy at this point, and I'm being stalked. Like, this lady is lurking for me. Any chance she gets, she's still lurking for me. Like, you basically, you could say you ran me off from the nigga November, and I haven't been talking to him because, like, we had like a little scuffle. I don't play that, so we were done. So I was out of the picture. Then January, this is a little bit after, this is well after the Snapchat friend request, right? I ended up going out of town in January on like a little cabin trip with two of my friends to the Lake of the Ozarks, right? We were just chilling. It was January, so it was cold out. We were just not doing too much. We were just vibing out, whatever. So one day while we're on that trip, the account that sent me a request, well, she always posts. It was just a random girl that I didn't know. She posts to her Snapchat. And honestly, she probably had been posting on her Snapchat. I just never used to view the story, right? And so she posts a snap of KD and the side chick. We're going to name her Felicia. We're going to call her Felicia from now on. She takes a picture and put on her snap of KD and Felicia and says, oh, they're so cute. Da, 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 da. I'm like, is this what I think it is? Is this who I think it is? Is this the lady that came up to me? And so a hit dog is gonna holler. So I put a snap up and I'm like, oh damn, this bitch a freshman? I literally only put that on my Snapchat because I don't give a shit, but I only put that on my Snapchat because if it was her, she was gonna respond. And what do y'all think happened? That hit dog hollered. She got to going off. She finally made herself present again and really talking that like rah-rah mess. Like she was literally on that. She was just doing all this talking. And so I just entertained it. I'm on vacation basically, and I'm just going back and forth with this lady. So I'm like, girl, you're ugly, this, that, and the other. This man said he's just using you. He don't even want you. He still talks to this, that person, and da 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 da. And she's just like, just, you know, the same tired ass arguments you have with girls over a guy. You trying to say this about me when none of it holds any weight. Like, I'm a beautiful girl. So after she exposes herself and this, that, and the other, right, she starts posting like her tweets on the girl's Snapchat, just screenshotting them and posting to the Snapchat where she's talking about me. And so I'm like, bingo, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. I want you to expose yourself so I can know who's been watching me, and I don't even know who you are, boo-boo. Like, so of course I go to her Twitter. And there's just all statuses about me. Of course, during the time that we're going back and forth, she's just constantly going back and talking about me and this, that, and the other. Like, come on now, we know you're jealous. That's it. Because you're more focused on me than the man. Like, you have the man, so why do you care about me? Why are you still having your friends add me? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You have the man. What else do you want? Do you want me too? Okay, we're gonna back it up now. After I found her Twitter, none of the arguing is important, but I will put some of the screenshots because whatever, who cares, right? But I started going back in her Twitter history, and when I tell you, this lady was talking about me the whole time. She was talking about me before she made herself known. There was even a post that she had put on her Twitter, it's time that I make my presence known. And that was literally the same night that she confronted me at the party asking if I still talked to my boyfriend at the time. And it was just like, she just really got tired of being the side chick. So you can honestly say in this case, the side chick prevailed. When she came up to me, because I felt like, because when she came up to me and asked about this man, I'm literally like, who is this dirty bitch coming up to me about my boyfriend? And I'm not just saying that because this was somebody, this lady had on like some leggings and a shirt that I guess was supposed to be white, but it looked like it had been worn probably like 15 times already. And I'm not trying to knock anybody, but y'all know the mindset you have as a girl being confronted over your guy. Like, who is this dirty bum bitch coming up to me asking about XYZ? Asking me about my KD. Like, and then I look, because like I told you, it happened sometime in November where me and him had got into it, right? Because she had came up to me and I told you there was a scuffle. You go to this bitch's Twitter and she's like, one thing I don't condone, do not put your hands on my man, period. Girl, like, what? Like, it's the delusion for me. Like, this man is still claiming you as just somebody he's using. You only getting a little more access than you've been getting because I stepped out of the way because I don't play those type of games. And so the whole time, like, in between there, she's like saying, tweeting nonstop about KD, posting in his hat, a hat that I've walked around in too. So, like, clearly, bitch, you look like a goofy. I don't wear the hat. Now you wearing a hat. Like, if that, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. But the things that were getting me were the tweets in between about beating my ass. Like, she was literally talking about whooping my ass during the time span where I didn't know anything about her. So that was weird to me because I'm like, yo, how do you have this much of a issue with me over this nigga and you got him? Like, when I tell y'all I X'd myself out of the equation so crisp, so clean, like, that was it. So the fact that I'm going through this lady's tweets and she's literally talking about beating me up and how she got this type of beef with me, it was just like, yo, what is going on? But that's for another story time, because I got another story time about this same little situation that just takes a whole different turn that I never would have thought. So fast forward back to January, where we're going back and forth and arguing and this, that, and the other. And like, you know how that goes. We were literally calling each other ugly, da 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 da. But like, that's that. The shit that don't really hold weight just to try to get under each other's skin. And so now, since I know exactly who this person is, I'm like, oh, okay, well, now you can't one up on me and snake me because I know exactly what you look like. That's all I wanted from the jump. From the moment this dirty little girl walked up to me in the kickback, all I wanted to know was, who was that? Who was that? So she won't, like, catch me off guard again. Like, yeah, so she's making all these posts like, I'll knock your face up and this, that, and the other, but you're still talking and you're still doing all of this. And I don't have to do all the crazy talking, but we'll see if you successfully do that if you want to. Like, what they say?
To my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line.
And then it's just like, I'm in school for a reason. I'm not trying to fight your ass and get kicked out. It's always those. And it's always those ones, like, that end up not doing much, right? Like, girl, it's not that deep. You got the man, so why do you still want to fight me? I don't care. And, like, I'm pretty sure I was probably communicating and talking with a new guy at that point. And it's beyond me. Like I said, everything started clicking. This lady has been in my face trying to laugh out loud with her friends and all this, and I just didn't know who she was at the time. You have your friends adding me on Snapchat and saying slick stuff, and I didn't know what it was about because I couldn't put a face to y'all yet. So when I finally find out who you are, you want to act like you're the victim, like I'm just the ex-girlfriend that's trying to talk shit to you. Like, people are delusional. Literally delusional. So I'm just like, you've been looking for me. You've been wanting to get my attention this entire time. And now you finally got it. And now you want to be like, bitches want to talk shit to me. Bitches is hating. Bitches. Bro, like, come on now. Yeah. And she's like, oh, bitches lurking on my stuff. Of course I'm looking at your Twitter now. Because you made yourself known. And I'm going to see what you're talking about. Just like you've been stalking me from prior to coming up to me until now. You've been lurking on my page, and it was probably eating her up that she didn't see me saying anything about her during that time, because I didn't know who she was. So that's why she didn't see nothing, and she wouldn't have saw anything anyway, because that type of stuff does not bother me. Like, girl, if you got the man, why are you checking for me? Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like I say, people are delusional, because she was tweeting stuff like, this bitch still worried about me. She still, wait, let me see. What did it say? This bitch still thinking about what the fuck we got going on. Misery loves company. You literally tried to force it in my face for the longest, and I finally saw it. Now you want to act like I've just been stalking. I don't give two craps. Literally. And so that's how that unfolded. And then when I tell you this, like, the subtle bickering and subtweeting went on for months after that too, because she was still looking at my stuff, and I'm still looking at her stuff. Like, now I know you. Now I want to see how much you're still talking about me, because you were talking about me for so long when I didn't know who you were. So yeah, I'm lurking. And so what's so funny is I still had KD's login in my tablet, because he used to use my tablet. And for whatever reason, that Android would not log out of his Twitter when he was like resetting his password. So I used to see all of their messages. Don't ask me why this man was messaging her through Twitter. His phone was always off. So I would see the messages, and she was basically in there begging for relationships and buying love. And so I used to make little subtle tweets about that, like, oh, Muggs is letting this dude use her car, and he's going picking up other bees. He's going picking up, doing other stuff. And she used to, like, just be pissed. And so I used to spend time doing that. there, I admit I put too much energy into like egging this lady on at that point. But like, come on now, you started with me. You could have went on about your life and I wouldn't have known nothing. Like, would not have known anything. And then if you constantly talking about me on your stuff, yeah, I'm gonna make you mad. Now I'm going to get on your skin, under your skin on purpose. That's when I used to be petty. It was so bad that this lady was just like always, I guess she was still fearful that he was still talking to me, right? So she just always had a beef at me. She was just always like starting with me, right? And mind you, I had that tablet that still had his login, and so I would see all the new girls he was talking to and who he was really into instead of her. Like I say, he kept her around because she was spending her little money on him. So why wouldn't you, I guess, right? If you're a college student and you got a dummy that'll spend their little money on you, go ahead. But anyway, I would see all of that stuff and I would just always tweet like, yeah, bitches are barking up the wrong tree because mugs are so obsessed and up my ass. Like, I'm not even a woman he's talking to. You know, I was like girl at the time, but I'm not even a girl he's talking to. So literally all of that happened 2015, right? She confronted me November of 2015. We were arguing January of 2016. I was egging on and all of that and getting under her skin for, you know, probably the spring of 2016. Then a couple of months later, like, things take a shift, right? And this is why I say these side chicks be more so obsessed with you and wanting to be with you than they are the guys, right? Because I just told y'all, this lady was eating me up, chewing me up. She was in her Snapchat telling folks she was going to beat my ass. Don't ask me how I got a Snapchat. I ended up with her Snapchat password because she gave her Snapchat password to my ex. And I told y'all I had his account information. So I was all in her Snapchat. She was literally spilling this narrative to people like we were going to fight. Like I was just fucking with her. And I'm just like, just this, that, and the other. And it's like, bro, what? Are you serious? I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm all over the place. But like I eventually did start talking to a new guy. Why did she start trying to talk to the guy that I was dealing with? So basically, she wanted what was like, that was weird. So basically, you chasing any man that you see I'm talking to. So that's why I'm like, this lady is obsessed with me. She's more so interested in what I'm doing than the guys that I'm dealing with. Like, she wants to be in my skin. So a couple of months go by, right? And shit is weird. Almost a year later, this lady, the same lady that I'm telling y'all about, right? She goes and messages me on Twitter. And she's like, not even trying to be funny, but you are very pretty, Bree. And me, when I tell y'all I'm not a confrontational person for the most part, I say thank you. I literally say thank you. I'm going to try to block out the names and stuff, but I'm going to insert this screenshot because it was wild at that point. Like, what? And so she's like, you're welcome, honey. And then she's like, can I ask you a question? I've asked a couple of people close to me or whatever, and she wants to hear some different responses. And I say, yeah, what's up? Right? And so she's like, this, mind you, this is a girl who was on, who hated my guts because of my ex, who was on Twitter saying she was going to kick my ass. She was going to do this, knock my face up. And she asks, what do you do when you're ready to give up? Like on school, work, certain things that bother you in life. And so me being how I am, I sent that. If y'all know how to screenshot and see them little words, more power to y'all. But yeah, I sent, and it's even longer than that. And then she responds, I'm just trying to keep that information kind of personal because she did mention some family issues. But this was beyond me. Like, this is the girl who was like, would have stumped my face in and is asking me what to do to not give up on life. And so we continue like chatting or whatever, and she's like, thank you, I thought you would have been mean to me, but but you're a really sweet person and this and the other. So I'm telling y'all, it don't be me. It really does not be me. So then she gives me her phone number and basically is saying to keep in touch and this and the other. She really appreciated our conversation. And so that is going to lead to another story time for another date, but it's going to come after this one because how could I leave it like that, right? But that was a prime example of how sometimes, like, it's not even about the guy that you have. These women be obsessed with you. They like you as a person, and if they feel the only way they can get around you is by messing with the guys that they think you mess with or have a relationship with, they'll take that route when they're intimidated by you. But I just want to say, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be coming with the second part to this as to what happened after me and her exchanged phone numbers. So I'll catch y'all in the next one.